for some reason.
Very odd that you wouldn't be able to just, you know, move around between spots in the lobby. I don't know. Technology just
Nope,
there.
you have to go into the obs slot and then stack up top AD or top jungle mid AD support.
Yes. Don't worry. The feature's on the way. Lucian and Ryze, the first two bans from KT, and Nidalee banned out from the Rox Tigers.
Okay, so they're feeling comfortable in playing against the Ryze, and there's a Jhin ban, actually.
Wow, okay.
So...
Huh. I mean, Arrow was good on that Jhin last game, that's for sure, but...
Well, they did ban Sivir in game number 1, and they decided that Jhin is the actual threat here from KT because they probably don't have that much practice against it, but Prey ended the last season playing some Jhin on his own and having some very nice games.
Yeah.
They haven't been preparing against it recently or practicing against it. They definitely prepared for it considering what KT has been playing.
KT kind of thinking long and hard about this last ban. They're going to go with the LeBlanc, which I'm a little bit surprised about.
Well, it was a big threat from Cry, and Kuro can also do that. And there's the Maokai. So they are going to leave the Ashe up this time, KT banning the Lucian instead. So this is a great time for an Ashe pick, and this will, of course, prompt the Ekko first pick. And what will Smeb play into it? Hopefully not a Swain. What I'm hoping for at the very least.
Yeah, you never know with these guys. Is this maybe an occasion that you would take the Fiora, perhaps? Not first pick, but think about it in the future if you're KT?
I don't know. I'm really not sold on Fiora right now as a champion.
They seem to like it.
Well, Samsung likes it. Rox, I think you can get away with not picking the Fiora right now. You can split push with it, but it's not as strong as it used to be. We could see Smeb play the Trundle if it is going to be an Ekko first pick.
That's true. We actually haven't seen a lot of Trundle today. Or any Trundle today. I don't know. Have we seen it all week even?
No.
Yeah, wow. Huh. Interesting. And the Kindred will be the first pick from KT. So you'd imagine it's probably going to be the Ekko. Yeah, immediately locked in for Smeb. And they're going to grab the Sivir as well. So a really nice combo to start things off with for the Rox Tigers. So what is the answer that KT has for this Ekko now?
That's been a problem with Arrow historically, is that his champion pool actually isn't very big, even for an AD carry player at any one time. So if he can't play this Jhin and he's not going to get the Sivir, does he just have to default back to Ezreal like he did in game number 1 of this series? What other tricks does he have up his sleeve? Is he going to play the Ashe?
You look kind of short compared to me on the screen right now.
That's because I'm leaning back, man. I'm
go.
enjoying it. I'm enjoying this draft. I'm just lounging my way through it.
I lowered my chair so that
that's great.
It wouldn't be as awkward for you.
Thank you. I was really concerned about it being awkward for me. I wasn't even actually noticing that we were on screen at the time.
You're welcome. I got your back. Azir, Ezreal, 2 solid pickups for KT. I mean, you know Kuro's not going to take that Azir.
All right, taking the Braum just to be able to block some of those line skill shots coming out of Ekko and Sivir. Pretty standard. Of course, the Victor still going to be up here for Kuro if he wants to play it again. I don't see why you wouldn't go for it again in this matchup. It's obviously one of the matchups Kuro is most comfortable in playing over time, and the Trundle could be coming in as a support pick. Attempt to punish any kind of...
Oh boy, here we go. Here we go.
This would be a very surprising gank composition, considering Aurelion Sol can just fly over the map, and then you can Sivir ult too. So the gank possibilities are huge, especially if you go for that Karma too.
It's true.
But I think they're going to wait on that mid lane pick because they can still flex the Ekko, so there's no need to go there quite yet.
Yeah. So wait and see if maybe it's going to be the Elise Karma. And I mean, the Karma pairs with the Sivir very, very nicely. Obviously, the Elise gives you a lot of pick potential.
Yeah,
they are going to pick those up.
This is a composition that's similar to one we saw ESC ever run successfully.
Yeah.
Using that Sivir Karma combination. And there's no guarantee that Karma isn't a mid lane, so in a very deceptive draft from the Tigers so far.
Yeah.
KT going to have to play blind into this, and that may mean that they go for a Trundle and just everybody piles onto Ssumday's back in this game.
Well, sounds like what they did last game. And probably not going to see that Draven from Arrow. It's just not something that...
Oh no, Doa. You never know when Arrow's going to play Draven. They do it once or twice a season, every season.
I know, but today is not that day.
They're going to play Shen Twitch.
I think the Caitlyn's okay here. Yeah, they're going to pick it.
Caitlyn Trundle. So heavy wave clear. Great siege potential between Azir and Caitlyn with a 4-1 split push.
You know?
Not a big front line, though, so KT has to be super careful about how they team fight, considering they went for the Kindred instead of a tank jungler.
Yeah.
And here comes Mr. Varus.
Could be that Varus. Yep, it is. And Kuro's Varus is feared far and wide. It's a very strong pick. So, yeah, and it's more pick potential, too. So, Rox Tigers, I think, defaulting to what they are honestly best at, being aggressive, getting picks, getting leads that way.
Yeah, huge collapse potential, obviously. Single target CC, very high between the Elise and the Varus, so that will prompt the cleanse in the mid lane from Fly. You also get a very nice matchup with the Varus into the Azir early on, where you could just poke the Azir away, rather.
Yeah.
And you also got the Sivir Karma combo, which provides a lot of early lane bullying potential. Rox Tigers looking for what they can do early. If it goes late, though, and this Caitlyn starts to hit a lot of items, KT's 4-1 split push is basically going to be unstoppable.
Yeah, that's the issue, is that the Rox Tigers are going to need to be super aggressive Rox Tigers. They're going to need to go back to what worked so well for them last season and make it happen.
That they will.
Yep.
Their one hope in the late game is at least they have, I would say, a more cohesive team fighting composition, and there's not a lot of peel. Basically, they've got a couple of ultimates and a pillar in the Azir ult, Braum ult, and the pillar from the Trundle in order to stop this, and they're going to have to use the Lamb's Respite incredibly well if they want to stay alive due to their lack of frontline.
True. It's going to be an interesting one. I think it's hard to call. This series, as we've seen, can really go either way.
Absolutely can. So we are loading into the game right now.
That's right. It is time, guys. KT Rolster versus the Rox Tigers. Game 3. Who takes the best of 5? Let's get in the game and find out. All right, welcome to Summoner's Rift. It's a Cloud Drake. Why am I not surprised? No.
That's this day, Doa.
Day of the Cloud Drakes.
It's a cloudy day here in Korea.
I guess so. Cloudy with a chance of Drake.
Well, they're always Drakes. So
Yeah. It was a very high chance.
100% chance of Drake.
That's a very good chance. Rox Tigers versus KT Rolster, game number 3. And Rox Tigers with what could be a very exciting comp to watch. We'll see.
They have to execute it, though. Otherwise, it's going to be a very boring comp to watch as KT just groups up 4 members in mid and has Ssumday split pushing and strangles them to death with pressure.
That's the song that would be apt to reference here.
Got the Queen David Bowie thing going on.
Yep.
So I know that song. I just don't know
song.
Hotline Bling because I just don't care about the pops that your kids are listening to.
Yeah, I know of that song, but I haven't actually heard it myself. I need to go home and listen to it.
You know, one of the best things about being in Korea is that
What's that?
you don't have to listen to all the American pop everywhere, so I'm just not
Man,
exposed to things. I don't get to see
true.
I don't get to see movie trailers or anything like that. I don't even know what movies are coming out. I am free from inundation of American advertisements, so I can just enjoy David Bowie and Queen.
Well, I like movie trailers, but I am glad we don't have to hear so much American pop music. That is true. That is nice. And we can avoid the K-pop while we're here too, so not bad. Smeb and Ssumday, the eternal conflict.
That's always an exciting matchup. I love watching these two players go head-to-head. Two of the
big rivalry.
Best top laners.
I mean, Ssumday, Smeb, and Duke kind of have this like rivalry triangle going right now. It's like a trivalry. And there's a contest between the 3 of them to see who's on top of the trivalry. Right now, Smeb going back in. A little bit more damage on the Ssumday. Whoa. They're both getting very low.
This is a much more exciting top lane matchup than we normally see.
No kidding, jeez. Oh, Smeb, you're in trouble now. Yep, there's a flash. There's an easy first blood for score. Oh.
He got too caught up in the rivalry to
I think so, yeah.
overextended, died to a 3-minute gank.
Yep.
Scores is like, okay, if you're going to do that, then I'm just going to come down there and kill you in 3 minutes.
Yeah. Peanut's like, well...
At least I got a blue buff. Everybody just recalling right now. Ssumday is going for the cull. All right. Had extra money. Smeb couldn't even buy anything. Still just had that corrupting potion.
That is interesting. You don't see a lot of top lane Trundles grabbing the cull lately.
That was a smart move, though, knowing that Smeb wasn't going to be able to get an actual item with combat stats, so it's basically just a free cull.
Slowed down again. Smeb going to take a lot of damage here. Man, I think if Score had committed to that a bit more, I wonder if they would have been able to finish him off.
He didn't have any mana, and also he didn't have flash, so would have been tough. Still, though, the point is firmly in the favor of the KT duo lane right now, and Rox winning on the top side, at least for the moment, having 2 ranged champions, as well as that Karma, dealing that ridiculous poke, and slowing Arrow down to make the boomerang blade easier to hit.
Yep.
So big CS lead for the Rox duo lane. They also just got into lane first, as we saw, coming through the river, and were able to translate the minion advantage into a level advantage, and then into some thorough lane dominance. But 22-6 on the bottom side, and this is the nightmare, right? The only thing KT needs Arrow to do is to get a Hurricane and stand at mid and wave clear. They don't actually need him to do damage anytime soon.
Gorilla could, yeah, I was going to say, if he lands another Q, he can just like flash in and ignite him. That's what I'd do. Go for the kill.
Just flash in, Q, and then hit that ignite.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's go for it.
Get Prey to walk up and auto him too. Too late now.
Oh, they're not actually turning this into an advantage, however. Certainly they're zoning him out of a hell of a lot of minions. And Peanut is here.
Here comes Peanut. Oh, he got the flash. Flash out of Arrow and the summoner heal too.
Nice cocoon, actually.
Yeah.
Very accurate.
Would have been dead on if the flash hadn't happened.
So we have 2 lanes tilting, 1 in each team's favor. But again, the biggest problem is that nobody's going to be able to kill this Trundle late game, so it's much more meaningful if the Trundle gets ahead. In fact, they are going to switch back. And if Rox doesn't match their lanes right now, then they will just go ahead and lose this first Drake. Not that losing an early Cloud Drake is the end of the world, but that's what Rox is going to do. So they want to push up, want to keep chipping away at this turret and maintain their advantage. It is Cull Dagger to BF Sword. Yikes. That's all you could really say about this situation. Arrow is in a world of hurt.
Yeah. That's going to be tough to contest the BF Sword from Prey if they ever end up in that 2v2, which is exactly what the Tigers want to make happen.
Yeah, they're delaying this for Smeb. Smeb is still going to be hurting. So basically, they kept him down in that lane so he could pick up some of that CS, and they are going to take it away from Prey. So both teams trying to normalize the CS for their deficient members right now.
Well, Smeb's showing himself. Here comes Kuro as well. This looks like a big dive down the bot lane. Might end up being a 5v5 actually, or at least not without the teleport.
Interesting that Smeb is sticking around for this. They're prioritizing the team objectives, but Ssumday going to get a lot of time on this top lane turret.
Tigers will be able to kill this turret pretty quick though.
Ssumday's going to do his own pretty big chunk of work on the top side. Actually, no, he's not.
Yeah. So when Rox Tigers get up there, oh wow, they're not actually going to be able to finish the turret. Wow, that's actually really important for KT that they kept that alive.
I didn't see that Ssumday had gone back and picked up the Null Magic Mantle and the Ruby Crystal. So going for the Cowl first, as he completes it now on the recall, means that he just didn't have any kind of damage yet, not building the components for an early Tiamat, and can't really punish that besides denying minions. So they lose nearly a turret for nothing at all. Smeb takes a trip back and gets a Glacial Shroud for himself. But the CS lead's still absolutely enormous. Gorilla and Prey doing an excellent job in this 2v2.
Yeah, that turret nearly down. Just a couple more autos will do it. Maybe one more for Prey. No, that's it. They get it. And Peanut is going to start this Cloud Drake right away. Why not?
Yeah, just go for that immediately. You've got the turret down. You need to take objectives and then try and make picks and make power plays, dive turrets away from the Trundle if you want to win this game, because Trundle's not going to be slowed down. Now, the point has already passed where you could do that very easily. Sure, it's only 8 minutes into the game, but the level of advantage that he has over this Ekko is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Level up. 25 CS up. It's not a point of recovery that you could really go for. So you have to just tell yourself, well, okay, the Trundle's going to be huge. We're not going to be able to stop his split push. So, but what are we going to do in this game? Trundle is not good at answering TPs or answering dives if he's not there with the pillar immediately. So Rox has to make power plays around the Karma and the Sivir, get in and kill somebody under a turret before the Trundle has a chance to respond.
Yeah, Kuro doing fine in the mid lane meanwhile. He's farming up, Fly doing the same. Slightly behind, but doesn't really matter too much. Or at all.
Arrow still on the just super slow path to relevancy here.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with the call pickup at this stage. Does help him on the few CS that he's going to get, but the stacking on that item is going to be so ridiculously slow. And he has to play scared for a really long time now.
Yep. I mean, on the Rox Tigers side, they don't really have any deep wards into the bottom jungle, so Prey can't really push too far up.
Grill joining him now, though, and Peanut may make a trip over there as soon as he finishes the Gromp, considering he won't have any other camps to take.
Could be.
But yes, the Caitlyn slowly recovering here. Same thing can be said about Smeb. Ssumday going for the scaling item in the cull and then picking defensive stats. Which, considering the full AP nature of the Ekko Elise combination that it's going to be dueling with him and attempting to gank him, might be the smarter early choice. He certainly doesn't need to come online anytime soon. He's already been gifted such a huge advantage that doesn't have to push it just yet.
Yep. Rox Tigers have a lot of pressure on this mid lane turret now. And wow, nice damage bringing in a Rodden rather than Kuro. There's the Chains of Corruption, goes on to KT. And just more poke. Man, Kuro already doing some serious work on this Varus.
And they're punishing them. They know they have that winning matchup. They know Arrow is going to be trying to freeze this lane or just farm it as slowly as possible so that he can actually get a few more CS before the wave moves and he has to dangerously overextend.
Right.
It's going to cost them quite a bit of damage onto their turret now.
May cost them their turret before too long. Recall going in for Gorilla. And Prey with a really nice, healthy CS lead in bot lane.
Now the Tiamat done for Ssumday, so the real pressure is going to be starting up. What is he waiting for right now? Boots. All right, so does pick up the boots as his next item. Held off for a little bit more of that ambient global gold.
So, Ssumday, I suppose, doesn't really have a lot of great ult targets in this particular game.
Oh, well, Ekko's going to get tanky, so he'll be A-okay on that.
I suppose that'll eventually be...
Especially in the 1v1.
True.
Score is going to be walking up for a lane gank right here. Really waiting around to that tri-brush. Ssumday is going to find him with that ward and then pillar him to stop the recall.
Yep, not bad. Not bad. Smeb needs to be kind of careful here. Looks like he is. Yep, just content to be pushed back under turret for the moment.
Are they going to dive this, the Lamp Spike?
Maybe. Looks like they are. Yeah, Ssumday getting in position to try to body block Smeb a little bit. Smeb dashing through, waiting for that pillar. Smeb very, very low. Ult's back under a turret. No minions, though. Now he's going to flash away. A lot of members of Rox coming to try to help out. Ssumday flashes in. Smeb turns it around. Ssumday low, but Smeb finally falls to Score. Score pops out Lamb's Respite. Not enough to save the Trundle immediately, and he's going to get taken out. So in the end, ends up being a 2-for-1 in favor of the Rox Tigers. Peanut gets 2 there.
Yeah, they way overcommitted to that. Smeb was just running down the lane back towards his base and then came back with the chrono break.
Yeah.
So there was so much time right there for the members of the Rox Tigers to respond, even though Score went in. Also, late use of the Lamb's Respite there, a little bit delayed from the point of score.
It seemed like Ssumday was just like right off of the edge of it. Like the edge didn't quite reach him when it got popped. It
Yeah,
was
that
really
may have
close
been.
either way. Yeah,
May have been, but
didn't save him.
regardless, Ssumday also just kept tanking that turret as he came on the way back through. Took a few more turret shots than he probably should have.
Well, Smeb did a great job too of just delaying, you know? Gave him the runaround, and it ended up working quite well.
Well, that'll
Impressive
just
stuff.
Yeah, that'll just even us up on kills.
Yep. Very even game as we look at that Infernal Drake coming up for the second one. And that's a big one, obviously. Score gets award. 20 seconds now. And the thing is if the Rox Tigers can get a solid amount of poke from Kuro's Varus, I think it's going to be kind of hard with the state Caitlyn is in for them to really contest this. What do you think?
Yeah, they can. They basically can. The early game power spike coming out of the Rox Tigers is too much, even with his Trundle. But Trundle not really going to be scary in any kind of team fight, especially since Prey is the one who is ahead. He doesn't have any armor right now, and he has to deal with Varus and Sivir. So TPing in there seems like it would be pretty unsuccessful until he can get a few more items. This is what he wants to do. You can see right now, Score just cheating up to the top side to try and make a play here instead of onto the Drake. So they're just going to give it up.
Yeah, seems like they have to. And the Rox Tigers getting the first 2 Drakes now of the game. And that Infernal Drake is going to be good for kind of pushing them ahead a little bit in the team fight, getting that edge. That's always attacking the spider.
That's right. Dragons hate spiders, did you know that?
I guess so. Well, they're creepy, man. Got 8 legs and they crawl around.
Is that what you think about Elise? You think Elise is creepy?
Yeah, I think she's pretty creepy. She is. I mean, look at that. When she's in human form, like a couple of the arms just kind of come out of her back. And then
Yeah, she has back legs.
Anything.
What, you don't like a woman with nice back legs?
It doesn't float my boat. I admit.
She really does it for the leg men, though.
I kind of guess.
She's a gam wonderland, as they say.
They say that?
In the 1920s, yeah.
Hey, Garam Wonderland, see? I like my spider women with nice back legs, see? I don't know about that, man. Takes the corruption down on the Score, pops the Lamb's Respite right away. It's gonna go ahead and save the turret for the moment anyway. Gam Wonderland, huh? Probably the most politically correct thing I've ever heard you say.
I'm just teaching the kids old school slang. They can bring it back.
That is. What's up?
Nobody's alive who used that slang any longer, so it's cool again.
And what
That's
woman,
the rule.
To be fair, what woman doesn't like being complimented on her gams?
That's right.
Yeah.
Nice pins, doll face. That's another great one.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I pick up the women on Tinder, Noah.
Like I've never heard this word before. That looks like the Rift Herald, who is not as well endowed in the GAMS territory, will be taken by KT Rolster.
No, he's got, look at his stunty little gams.
Yeah, those pins. Don't do it for me, I tell you. I feel like if we keep talking like this, we're going to get shot by Dick Tracy.
Right, the old school mobsters are going to come by with their zoot suits and their Tommy guns.
That'd be sweet. Zoot suits.
You don't, it wouldn't be sweet, Doa. It would be the bee's knees. Thank you.
Oh, Sivir. They're going in on Hachani and Arrow, but no catch really. Oh, Arrow. Takes a big arrow. Nice chains of corruption on Hachani. A little bit of damage there. Arrow cleanses out of it, I believe. Oh,
nice flash.
Going right back onto him. Good CC. Score very, very low. Still has a bit of cooldown left on Lamb's Respite. Man, flying Hachani keep moving towards the Rox Tigers, but they learn to regret it as they take quite a bit of poke damage. Man, Kuro is just a nightmare on this Varus.
Yeah, Ssumday even having to cheat down into the mid lane right now to apply pressure somewhere else. And they're trying to play around the likes of the Rox Tigers dual lane, where they have that advantage right now. They're just grouping up, trying to push through. Whoa.
That was a good flash and fly. Saved his life right there. As Kuro apparently has aimbot. That is pretty amazing. I was hitting those arrows. Ssumday taking his anger out on the mid lane turret.
But that's exactly what he should be doing. They can't win that fight any longer, so if he can take a turret in response, at least there's something that he can be doing. And Smeb had to clean up that top wave, then move into the mid lane. So free turret damage in the split push, and that's just a preview of how strong Ssumday is going to become. Already has the Ravenous Hydra completed. He's 1,000 gold over his lane opponent right now, and all of that is unspent currently. Same thing with Smeb. Still needs to go back and pick up something with his 1,700 gold. Will be a cowl.
And the boots, too. Winged boots.
Arrow and Smeb have done a good job of not falling further behind their respective lane opponents. And now that Arrow has this Hurricane, at least he'll be there for the wave clear, so he can hold his own to a certain degree. But it's all about Ssumday's pressure now versus the pressure that the Rox Tigers can put down on other parts of the map around Prey. This has turned into really a two-carry game right here with Prey and with Ssumday. It's going to be whoever can play around that advantage better will probably take this one.
That's the plan. Top lane turret taking a bit of damage to the minions, of course.
The real problem, at least for Rox, is that the longer this game goes on, the better and more of an advantage that KT is going to have with this composition, because 3 or 4 item Caitlyn is pretty nasty, as many of you know, and also late game Trundle is just devastating in a split push. I mean, Smeb can't even get him off the turret right now.
Wow. This Trundle's pretty terrifying.
Yeah, and Smeb is also really gated by his mana. Running out quite quickly. Having to recall right now, so he just can't defend this tier 1 very easily.
Oh, so ult's back into lane. Wants to make sure he's sitting there defending that bottom lane turret. Ray coming in for some damage onto the top lane tier 1. Kuro's there as well, too. Looks like Ssumday's just going to get this turret by himself, man.
Yep.
That Trundle's already scary. There's another Chains of Corruption on the Hachani. A lot of damage going through. Down to like 0 health. They have come so close to killing so many people this game.
They are so lucky, because if some of these people like Scorn and Hachani went down, the chance for follow-up turrets from the Rox Tigers was very high.
Yeah.
But they are going to trade 1 for 1 again, so both teams just trying to hold on where they can and trading very evenly. It's turning into a great game.
Yeah, it is. Very, very even in gold. The only thing is that Rox Tigers have been able to take both of the dragons so far, and that's a big deal. It's another Infernal Drake, actually, that just came up. So if the Rox Tigers can get this, the scales will certainly tip. KT running onto it right away, though. They, well, not onto it immediately. Teleport coming in. Smeb finishes the TP, and he's kind of on his own right now. Could be in a bit of trouble. He does have his ult up if he needs to use it, as Peanut comes in for a bit more harass. Smeb taking some more damage as the rest of the Rox Tigers get there. They really, really want this dragon.
That was a huge chunk already taken out of Smeb, though, and he burned his teleport, so he doesn't have a chance just to go back for free unless he wants to use his ult.
Oh, they're burning down the Drake really fast. Here comes Score to try to steal it away. Peanut trying to get there. Parallel Convergence zoning him out. The dragon regens some health as the Rox Tigers try to push KT off. Here comes Ssumday now with the big killer. That's a problem. Dragon taken by the Rox Tigers in the end, though. Peanut gets the smite, and now KT on the run. Fly too low to fight this anymore.
Now, those prolonged poke contests are going to favor the Rox Tigers. And remember, KT not very strong yet.
Yep.
In these 5v5s, Arrow needs some more items if he wants to actually output the same amount of damage that this Sivir is going to be able to. Also, Sivir going for the static shiv here, so already
Cool.
poking really hard.
2 Infernal Drakes on this Kuro. This Varus is a problem.
I'm glad to see Kuro playing that Varus again. It always was a great champion for the Rox Tigers, and I was surprised that we've seen so much of an emphasis on them banning it recently instead of just taking it for themselves.
Yeah. I think it is a great pick. Kuro certainly showing us that in this game. And they're starting to kind of overrun the map a bit.
Gold lead's still very close, but those, like you said, those 2 Infernal Drakes are going to really even things out in the late game. And most importantly, it's going to help stunt the split push of this Trundle, because at least the Ekko, though behind by 50 CS right now, will be able to fight back.
Yeah. AD steals the Krugs away, so they got something.
Krug Thief Hachani.
Krug Thief Hachani. Sounds like a name of an anime cartoon or something.
It really does.
Yeah. Alright. Rox Tigers continuing to try to put as much pressure on as they can in that top jungle. Oh, Yomu's pop. Peanut takes some damage. Nice change to corruption response for Kuro. Peanut having to flash away. Stay alive. It was an attempted pick from KT.
Yeah, they needed to burn everything right there. 2 ultimates, one coming out from Sivir and one coming out from Varus also had to be used to make sure Peanut could get out of that situation. Nice little trap there set up by Score. So they get something for it. Just one summoner spell, though. KT not having to invest. Ssumday used his ult to try and soften up the target, Peanut, before he could escape. But not going to be in the cards for today, KT.
And the longer Rox Tigers kind of sits around, the more of a threat Ssumday is going to get with the split push, it seems like. It's certainly not going to get any weaker.
No. Or at least not. Peanut actually intentionally stepping out of trap right there.
Dangerous.
To help to clear out a ward. Hachani pops up next to him with that Winter's Bite. He's the one who's being sent into that Vanguard position, obviously, considering that Karma not very useful for checking or warding in the late game. She can die very quickly.
Yep, blue buff did go over to Kuro. It was a nice attempt from Ssumday to steal it. They're zoning him out. There's a Chains of Corruption. Ssumday could have bitten off a bit more than he can chew with that Trundle this time around, trying to get away. He's so tanky already. Oh, Smeb going deep for this one. Ults back for the safety. Fly's got a lot of damage going, though, so they need to be careful here. Peanut goes in, has to repel out right away, and now Rox Tigers needs that poke to turn this one around. Bray coming down, yep, they're trying to speed up the team. Doesn't really get the full speed boost, though. Cocoon on to Score, and a bit more poke from Gorilla as Rox Tigers push down the mid lane.
Not going to land. Hachani was standing there with the Unbreakable just in case that Varus arrow did manage to reach. Arrow going to get chunked out.
Wow, yeah, you really cannot get hit by this Varus right now. Or the Karma.
Yeah, or this. But volatile Spiderlings from Elise actually doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, I guess so.
With the Ryze completed alongside the Runic Ekko.
Man, the Trundle is such a great pick against the Sivir and Karma as well, too, because it just nullifies the speed boost so well.
Yeah.
Ah, and a pause. Wonderful.
A pause. A pause in our game of
right.
Rox versus KT Game 3, and now you're going to see us on screen, apparently.
Hi, we're on screen.
Just switching it right on over.
So you know what, Monte Cristo?
What?
The famous rapper Lil B followed me on Twitter.
I don't know
today.
who that is.
I really don't know either. I've heard he's like a subject of many memes, perhaps.
Okay. So
but
like
now he follows me, which is great because I feel like so at home in his family of the other 1.37 million people he follows on Twitter, but I didn't follow him back.
Oh, well, I don't think he cares.
He might. I invited him. I invited him to Korea publicly to make an esports rap video with me. So Lil B,
how's your rapping?
If you're out there, I've got the flow, and I can show. You want to go?
So, well, that answered my question for me. Thank you.
That was the greatest rap of all time. What are you talking about? Of all time. I'm ready to bring it. I already brought it. It's already brought. It's brung.
It's been brung.
It's been brung.
as the kids say.
It's been brung. That's right. You know those kids today.
They just walk up to each other saying, "It's been brung."
Memeing out of control. I was told, though, because I didn't follow him back, and I was told that if you don't follow Lil B back, you get cursed.
Well, you've been cursed. I'm sorry, Doa.
Hey. Why does everyone assume that Lil B's magical powers are stronger than mine? I think that's the first mistake he's made.
Do you curse people, or do you use your magic for good?
Generally for good. But if they curse me, I have to counter curse. You know how it works. It's a lot of paperwork.
Can't you just undo their curse instead of cursing them back?
It's no fun. Because then it becomes a battle of curses.
What would you curse him with?
Well, let's see. He cursed, apparently, I learned this today, actually. He cursed Kevin Durant with the curse of never winning a championship.
That's pretty rough to do to somebody's career.
It worked, too, apparently. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to hit his career. I don't want him to have to, you know, find a new way to, you know, pay the bills and things like that. So, I don't know. I would curse him with something that's just like, it's something that just like, it's not horrible, because if you curse someone with somebody really horrible, it inspires them to persevere and kind of be the bigger person and survive it, right? So when you curse someone, you have to curse someone with something that's just like annoying enough to kind of ruin their day, but not annoying enough to kind of bring out the better person, the better part of their humanity. So I would curse him with the extreme likelihood of every day getting out of bed and stepping on a Lego immediately. Wouldn't happen every day. Wouldn't happen every day, because he could kind of look first and dodge it. Just most of the time. Yeah, he'd step right onto one of those square bricks. And it hurts a lot. It doesn't injure you. You aren't going to have to go to the hospital for this, but it kind of starts your day off so you're in a bad mood. And I think that's a really mean thing to do. So that would be my curse.
How about perpetually itchy armpits?
Oh, that'd be really bad too.
So you're just constantly just like this all day?
That may be treading into the realm of, like, actually horrible.
How about 1 hour per day of armpit itchiness?
You don't know which hour it's going to be. It might be midnight. I'm trying to go to bed. It might be, like, you know, at lunch. Might be during an important meeting with other rappers. You want to impress them. You don't want to itch your armpits.
Do rappers have important meetings?
Probably. I mean, how else do they decide when they're going to collaborate? All right. Well, we were told there was an audio issue between the players. And now it looks like we're back in the game to check out how this fight went. It's a replay.
Yeah, it is.
A replay.
We're actually back in the game right now, so I'm not sure what's going on.
Oh, let's break this down, man.
We're gonna break it down.
Break it down.
It's been brung, Noah.
It's been broken down. There we go. We're back in the game now. We are the true rap gods.
It's been brung is my new favorite catchphrase.
It's been brung. I probably wasn't the first to say it, but I am the most effective at saying it. Top friend wrong. So, while we were gone, the Rox Tigers were able to get a little bit more of a gold lead.
Ssumday has become a little bit more of a monster and expanding his farm lead in the bottom side.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, step on the trap. Step on another one. Yeah, get them all. Oh, yes. One more. You got it. Nice job.
You gotta mind the trap, man, as they say in merry old England.
Mind the trap. I did not hear that when I was there. I believe you completely, though. Yeah.
Mind the trap.
Mind the trap.
I could make a fortune selling that T-shirt.
You could. I'm sure that's
with a Yordle snap trap on it.
I'm sure that's a bumper sticker somewhere. Oh, Prey immediately pops the Sivir ultimate, going for something, but Score and Hachani are right there. That's a bit ambitious. Here comes Gorilla, though. There's the shield. They're going to keep going with this. Peanut's there as well, too. Nice stun coming in from Smeb. Fly, they got to be careful about that choke point. Peanut, a little bit low. And where is the poke from Kuro? That's the question. It's coming in. It's an Ocean Drake, and the Rox Tigers could use something like this. They don't want to let KT have it, though, because having the Ocean Drake is kind of the opposite of the poke. So Ssumday stopped up again. The parallel convergence gets blown up a little bit faster than I expected they could do it, but they did it.
Well, he didn't have his ultimate. He used the subjugate earlier on Smeb at the start of that fight.
It got brung.
It's been brought, Noah.
It's been brung.
It's been brung. That's right. I already messed it up.
It's been brung. Stop messing up my catchphrase. Catchphrase. Infernal Drake next, and it's big, not so much that Rox Tigers got that Ocean Drake, but that they kept KT from getting a resource to help them survive the poke better.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be another Infernal Drake next, so we're looking at number 3, because it's not 29 minutes just yet, so we get another Elemental Drake in this game.
Yeah.
That's going to be absolutely massive. Rox just moving on through the mid lane right now, trying to finish off that tier 2 turret. Can't quite get it. They'll be happy with what they got already. Ssumday is coming back up. They need to back off, make sure he's not going to TP on top of them, but he's got plenty of minion waves to prune.
It's true. He loves pruning.
What a gardener.
Yep. He's got like some bonsai trees as well at home. Loves to prune. Kuro takes a ace in the hole to the base. Doesn't stop the Rox Tigers from taking out that mid lane tier 2 turret though.
Just letting the minions do the work, dodging away from that trap line that Arrow's put down. And you can see Prey has pretty substantial advantage. Everybody, the exception of Ssumday. Ssumday is here. It's Ssumday versus the world right now.
As it often tends to be with KT games.
Ssumday versus 5 Tigers.
Yep. He's got it. And look at this. They're going to go right for the Baron. And that Baron is falling very fast. Slow response for KT. And the Rox Tigers might just be able to get away with this one.
Yeah, it's a freebie.
Yeah, here comes Score, though. He can try to steal it away. No, Chains of Corruption keeps him from getting in. Smeb immediately jumping onto him. And Rox Tigers have this Baron buff. That is big.
Huge for them. Huge for their poke composition.
Yeah.
Should be able to change this into some nice turret advantages, even more than they already have. Don't have to be concerned about that Infernal Drake for another few minutes into this game. So one tier 2 turret remaining, and it should be theirs. And now they have the Baron too. It's going to be hard for Ssumday to actually...
Arrow, you are in the Dome of Death. A kill for Kuro. Comes in, and Smeb finishes off his Prey up at the top lane. Well, it wasn't Prey, you get what I'm saying. Goodbye, Ssumday. The whole KT team kind of falling apart map wide.
Yeah, they were trying to collapse right there, make sure that there wasn't going to be a threat from Ssumday. Now, by the time that Ssumday actually revives, Smeb's TP will be back up, and he's going to be able to solo push really this turret down here, as we do see Kuro advancing that wave in the bottom side. So pretty convincing here for the Rox Tigers now. They used that early game power spike that they had, the advantage, and played super well around Prey and Gorilla to continue to dive turrets like this.
Here we go. They're going to keep diving. Yeah, Smeb coming in. He pushed way deep.
No, Fly, why?
Uh-oh. Why, Fly? You die. He died.
Well, he also pushed the Ekko into his base and then flashed over his own wall on top of the Ekko, who then killed him. So not the best Azir play we've ever seen.
I think this one is looking like it's pretty over. Here comes Score. Chance of Corruption misses Arrow. Kuro's in a bit of trouble here. The Varus not the most mobile mid laner. Oh well. It was all part of the plan.
It was just a ruse.
I love a ruse.
Got to bring it full circle. See what I did there, Noah?
Yeah, that's right. I feel like the broadcast has this nice arc now that comes back around. All the inhibitor turrets are down. And the Rox Tigers looking like they might be ready to end this one. Both mid laners dead. Fly coming back right about now, so the Rox Tigers will back off. Whatever you say, Karma.
She says, I want another Infernal Drake so I can have 3 on my Varus.
There you go. I didn't know you spoke whatever it is Karma speaks. I think she said, ba what a ba.
Big Kid Rock fan.
Yep, pretty much.
Well,
yeah,
I'm a big fan of 3 Infernal Drakes onto 1 team.
Well, that's, I don't know if the Rox Tigers need it, but it's cool.
And then I want them to get the Elder Dragon so they have 36% increased damage.
Wow. And then I want Kuro to one-shot people with his Q.
They probably would one-shot Arrow.
I think so, yeah. I think you legitimately might be able to.
They're not done yet, though. They're coming for inhibitor number 3 first. Squeezing every last drop out of their Baron buff.
Tasty. Good to the last drop. Well, Fly gets his Azir turret up just in time. And Smeb is harassing Hachani, who hops back over the wall on Ssumday. Wall of traps. Does not scare Prey, who has that spell shield. Here we go. A lot of damage onto the Azir turret. Not going to last long. It's already gone. Prey pops the Sivir ultimate. They just want to take out the Snifter. They will. Wow, meanwhile, Peanut just evaporates Hachani. Chains of Corruption doesn't connect. Rox Tigers still look like they're ready to end this one.
So many super minions just pushing to the base right now. This should be the last push. No
Whoa,
third Infernal
fly.
Drake needed.
Well, that was a pretty flashy play, but unfortunately he just blew up. Well, he went out with style. What can you say? And the Rox Tigers kind of styling on KT right now. Smeb diving into the base, ulting back out again. Arrow does pick up the kill. And wow. All right, well, this one is over as the Rox Tigers take a very convincing game number 3 to take this match 2-1.
That's right. At the end of this best of 3, Doa, they can stand tall and say, it's been brung.
It's been brung. That's right. The most threatening words ever uttered by a human being is been brung. You know when it's been brung, you're dead. That's what I'm trying to say.
KT did have a really solid game too, though, coming back. And as we, of course, look at the damage for champions, and no surprise there with Varus firmly in the pole position. And unfortunately for the likes of KT Rolster, that losing bottom lane, the dual lane matchup, really came back to haunt them. But Rox just played around the Karma and the Sivir, continued to dive, press their advantages, get those big gold leads, and control the Drake super well, which allowed